it's self-doubt mostly. It's I always feel like I've not done enough.
Do you take the trolling part personally and has your...
I do. First month, तो पहले महीने तो दर्द होता है. And because there are some very, very mean trolls.
Irfan Sir was also one of the nicest people to work with, nicest human being, right?
He was not nice. He was kind. Like he was not. आप आओगे selfie लेने वो कभी phone लेंगे बोलेंगे अब क्या? His heart was very generous, But he was not nice or sweet or you know what I mean. Like if we had to say something, he'd say it and he'd stand up for himself. The moment I start taking myself too seriously and I start putting too much importance to my identity, then the pressure starts bothering me. Because the legacy is not about being an actor, it's really about being who I am, what I can do with my individuality and how I can be the best version of myself. That is his legacy and that will continue on.
In a time where we are so busy living in the real world, we often forget to live in the real one, and that is exactly what ZEE5’s upcoming film Logout is all about. And I want to personally tell all of you to go watch it because it has a very important lesson in it that we just take so granted for. And joining me today are the men behind the film, Babil and Amit. How have you been?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good actually. I'll just quickly start off by saying that it is so important today. I know movies are for fun and games also, but I feel sometimes in between we should have something like Logout because we are also engrossed. And we are not consuming social media, to be honest. It is consuming us, and that is so true. And when I watched you in the movie, my mind was blown because I also saw this very unique transition because we last met after Kala and I had just so many good things to say to you, Anvita, Tripti, everybody. But I thought, wow, he's so good. But then when I watched this, I thought, okay, he's better. And I know you're very awkward about taking compliments.
I thought you were going to not give me a compliment.
No, of course, I started off by saying you all should watch it.
You were good back then, but pata nahi kya ho gaya.
No, I'm not going to be that critic. But, how was it? Because it's a very emotionally heavy film as well.
I can carry I'm an emotional guy also, no?
Yeah.
So that is okay. But the thing is, I had sir with me, I had Amit sir and Biswa sir with me. Sameer sir would come some days. So the lightness, so if I would give a very, very hectic scene, I would always have their lightness, have their humor, have their, compassion to bring me out of it.
Correct.
So the support system was always there, and that was very important for me to sustain through.
Wow.
Yeah, and so that's the thing. I for any performance with any actor, it's such a collaborative process, and that's why I feel a little guilty taking credit.
No, I'm not giving you all the credit.
Thank you.
It's shared between everyone,
exactly.
writer, director, the team.
Exactly. Even the performance though, it's वो light भी अगर सही नहीं गिरी तो
बिल्कुल
अब सब गड़बड़ हो जाएगा. It's such a intricate process that the whole team is part of the performance.
Yeah. I truly believe that because when I'm blamed for a bad interview, I'm not the only person being bad in it. It's a collaborative process. So I truly believe that. But Amit sir, talking about the casting, when I was watching the film, I felt that it was on point. Now I can't, of course, once I've watched it, I can't imagine anyone else playing any of the characters. How was that process like? Because it's also a big part of a movie who you cast.
Correct. And like any of our other projects, I think it was exactly the same with this also. So even for the role of Pratyush, we have our casting partners, Weber from Anti-Casting. We briefed him and we told him what is the age group, the look that we are looking for. And like always, we got 7-8 good auditions that he sent us, shortlisted and sent us. And one of them was Babil. So it was never like we are approaching somebody who has a name or anything like that. And by that time, I think Kala also had not released. So in any case, we didn't know, we obviously knew that Irfan Khan's son is Babil, but we didn't know him as an artist till then. So, but just the audition in itself was so on point for us for what we were looking for. So that solved the skill part of us. And once we met with him and we discussed the script and everything, the sincerity part, that was a major concern for this script, because it's just one person.
Yeah.
And you have to be sure that this person will give it all.
Absolutely.
You can't hide anywhere else as a director. I can't cut away from him, that person. So that was really reassuring that, yes, this guy will put in all the effort that is required. He'll put in the hard work. So I think when those two things we were convinced, that's when we logged in.
Amazing.
Thank you.
But,
ज़्यादा तारीफ कर दी क्या?
no, but there's this one thing I want to ask you with all of the, I don't want to use the word Gen Z, but what do? I have to. But all of us who are Gen Z, you know, I'm almost Gen Z because I was 97 born, so I'm very sad about it that technically I am Gen Z, but I am a millennial at heart.
Yeah.
But you know, there's some issue. You are a millennial at heart. But there's something with us not accepting compliments the way we should, and I have noticed that it becomes weird. I'm like, what do I say? Do I say thank you? And that is the same with you. Everybody that Ananya, Janvi, whoever's just entered, been a few years, they're very awkward because it's almost like they don't believe that, you know, they have actually done a good job. Why is that? Why is that so?
I think it's, for me, I can only speak for myself.
Of course.
It's self-doubt mostly. I always feel like I have, you know, I've not done enough. I've not done. It's just self-doubt. But I think that's why I feel like इतना नहीं किया होगा यार मैंने, इतना थोड़ी ऐसे हो सकता है. It's like it's just that.
Even when there are so many voices, because I feel you are one of the very few blessed actors who actually don't, and correct me if I'm wrong, don't get that huge amount of hatred. Hatred online or hatred by critics, because people genuinely respect you, not because of your legacy only, but because you have also done good work initially in your career, right? Then does that not mean in your head that, okay, maybe I am good?
Yeah, but then it's just that is coming from outside. No, self-doubt can only turn into self-worth when it comes from
within. That is true.
I have to convince myself I'm good.
Okay.
Don't need people, you know.
Yeah.
That I love. Of course, the love is important, but you know, in anybody's life. But I think it has to come from within.
That is true. You know, so for a film to work and a film to not work, very funnily, I've seen when a film works, the actors are praised. When it's not worked, director se baat karo. That has happened a lot of times. How do you see this as? Because I feel, as he said, it's a shared process. You know, everyone takes equal responsibility, but some people are the face of the movie. How do you take this thing as?
I will slightly disagree as to say that I think things have slightly changed.
Okay.
Because even the creators today have a certain brand value to some extent.
Yeah.
So if it's a Rajamouli film, it's a Rajamouli film. No matter how big a star is there, that always is important as well. And same with a lot of Hindi directors and a lot of them. But I also feel that it's defined by the audience more than anything. At the end of the day, I would not blame them because they see the final product, and in that product they see the face.
Correct.
So it's very natural, because even as a kid, when we were nowhere linked to this industry, we would also see Shah Rukh Khan and say, "Wah, kya movie hai?" We won't say Yash Chopra, kya movie hai? So that is always there, because as a product, when you see it, you see the face. And I feel somewhere creators also don't mind that much, because if it helps the project that they are pursuing, the better it is for them. So today, if Babil has a face value and it helps Logout, it's beneficial for me also. And I also do genuinely feel that it has changed a lot. Like, creators are being appreciated, being recognized more. Today, like Biswapati is the writer, he is also known for his writing.
Of course.
So if you say that script by Biswapati, it contains its value. So I think it's slightly changing with time, and I hope it gets better in that sense.
Yeah.
But
I think we're finally in the time where that star power or that starry thing is taking a backseat. If your content is genuinely good, everyone will appreciate it.
Yeah, and that credit actually people have started realizing, And also maybe because a lot of people have turned into content creators, so they are getting a better insight into what goes into creating even a small video. So maybe that's why that societally that awareness is spreading.
True. But you know, Babil, if something like this happens to you in real life, you know, you lose your phone, what will be your number one worry?
All my poetry will be gone because it's all on my
You've
note.
not taken a backup?
Backup on what?
Apple Cloud.
On your Apple Cloud or your Google Drive?
It's pause दिखाता है, pause हुआ है.
अच्छा.
3 GB, I don't know. If my notes will be gone, I will lose a lot of my poetry, my thoughts, insights. Because I keep writing on my notes. Like any thought that comes, any idea that comes, I will potentially lose a lot of business ideas, money ideas also.
Oh my God.
Film ideas.
I would like to have your phone.
Yeah, you can.
No, I have carried my phone to the interview here because I'm genuinely scared after watching the movie. I was like, and वो जो notes में आपने सब save किया, I have deleted everything. Like I've taken a backup and because my account details and all are in there. So I was like, this is very stupid. And we talk about our parents not understanding, but look at us. We also save everything on notes these days. But you know, it's a crazy world out there. So as I said that social media actually consumes us. What is your relationship with social media? Because as an actor, you have to be seen also.
Yeah, I think for me it's a way to connect to the audience, right? And in multiple facets.
True.
So through my work I can connect to them, but on social media I can show them different sides of me, right?
Yeah.
I can show them that there's more to me than just an actor, right? I can sing for them, I can write poetry, I can get trolled, I can whatever it is, but I think it's a very useful tool if it is used right.
Yeah, that is true. But do you take the trolling part personally and has your...
I do. First month, तो पहले महीने तो दर्द होता है. And because there are some very mean trolls, and वो होता है, दर्द तो होता है, no problem. Then you move on, and then when you stop taking yourself seriously, you start laughing at yourself. I've also made memes on myself.
Really?
I swear, yeah.
Wow, that's a good way, you know. I think we take life too seriously sometimes.
Yeah, man.
It's okay, like, ठीक है, अभी जिसको जो बोलना है. Like, I remember the funniest comments on my interviews are sometimes about what I'm wearing or how I'm looking and not what I'm asking. You come and troll me on my questions, I'll take it like with all my stride, but you know, that's so funny. I'm like, it's okay. I'm sitting with the celebrities and chilling. You are at your home commenting, so it's fine. But what about you? You know, you of course come from a generation that took social media on a little late. So how is your relationship like?
So ironically, our creative journey began on YouTube and around social media. So that for us was a good training ground because it brought us like instant fame also, but the comments kind of grounded us also, because I keep giving this example that in many of our videos, we'll put out a video. In the same video, there will be a comment, this is the best video ever, and there will be a comment right below it, this is the worst video ever. So you kind of see the funny side of it, that it's just opinions that people are saying. And of course, as a creator, you want to see the feedback so that you know what works, what doesn't work. But at the same time, don't take it as a stamp of authority that if somebody has said this is bad, then this is bad, then your life is screwed and you can do nothing. So you just, like you said, don't take it as seriously. Just be okay with whatever amount you can engage with safely. Like, you have to decide for yourself. That is also very important. Like, a lot of people can take a lot of hate, but somebody might feel very overwhelmed. So it's also okay to, you know, step back from it, and there is no harm in that. So just to realize that boundary for you individually is very important.
Yeah.
No, agreed completely. You know, Babil, the audiences have become very critical today. Like, if you do good, they'll really praise you. If you don't, it spares nobody, no matter where you come from. You of course carry a legacy, and legacy I don't mean only artistic way, in an
Yeah,
artistic way. I've heard that, you know, Irfan Sir was also one of the nicest people to work with, nicest human being, right?
Yeah.
So that one thing is attached with his name.
Yeah, may I? He was not nice. He was kind. Like he was not. आप आओगे selfie लेने वो कभी phone लेंगे बोलेंगे अब क्या?
But
अब कैसे
yeah,
लेगा selfie?
that's the human
हाँ,
side, right?
Exactly. So it was. There's a difference between being nice and being kind. Like, he was a very kind-hearted man. He was a good bad पता नहीं, but because nobody is a good person, bad person.
Yeah.
It can't be like that. We all have
But
our
he was a
ways.
kind man.
Yeah.
His heart was very generous, you know. But he was not nice or sweet or, you know what I mean. Like, if he had to say something, he'd say it and he'd stand up for himself. You know, so it was like sometimes there was no people pleasing in him at all. He was fearless.
That is why I call him nice.
Yeah.
Because so many times, see, we always are having conversations with actors, so you know sometimes who's actually nice, who's actually, you know, faking it just for the cameras. But when you carry that legacy, and I know you don't take it too strongly, but does that ever put that extra added pressure? Because somewhere everybody will have that thing that he is his son.
The moment I start taking myself too seriously and I start putting too much importance to my identity, then the pressure starts bothering me. But the moment I don't take myself seriously and I'm just then the legacy becomes fun, because the legacy is not about being an actor. It's really about being who I am, what I can do with my individuality, and how I can be the best version of myself. That is his legacy, and that will continue on. You know.
That just, you know, makes me think. My father once told me that when we go away from this journey, our journey ends, people will not come and talk about what work you do. They'll come and talk about how you were as a person, and that is exactly what I meant by that word legacy, not in an artistic way. But you know, lastly, before I end this conversation, I have seen that you need, for actors, they need a particular person who can be their critic, okay, and they will not take anything personally. I think that's your mom for you. So has she watched the film? What did she say?
She loved.
Oh, wow.
For the first time, I was like, what? Because I was ready ki
that's a big win. Yeah, that's
I was like, what? That screening happened. I never go to the screening.
He didn't come. His mother came.
I can't watch myself.
Once it was completed.
I was like, if I have to, like, I can't watch myself only. But Mama came home and I was like, I'm ready. And then she was like, "Arey, tum अच्छा काम किया तुमने यार बाबा."
He's so surprised. But
but that's genuine also, no?
Exactly.
Heartwarming.
Exactly.
No, but genuinely आपने अच्छा काम किया है, and now believe it, because when the main screening happens, I think a lot of people will come up to you and say, so you have to practice how to thank them and not be like.
No, Sanya Malhotra actually she taught me. She took me, like, when Kala's screening was happening. I don't remember when exactly. But she said, say it like this, thank you. and then I was like, okay.
Nice.
But I hope you get to practice that, because there's many more performances of yours that we are yet to see. And I hope you keep doing the good work, and I hope you keep making good content, good films, and we keep watching it. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.